My name's Pippa Stephenson. I'm curator of Divine Bodies. Divine Bodies is an exhibition at the Laing Art Gallery running until the 29th of September. We've brought together some of the finest old master paintings from the Hatton, the Laing and the Shipley galleries, and we've put them together with contemporary and modern artworks from the last 30 years, drawn from collections across the country. This room looks at beauty, youth and age in old master European paintings. We're thinking about the body and how it's presented, particularly the female form. In many old master collections, they're full of religious narratives, but religious narratives don't necessarily mean images of Christ or images of saints. Bathsheba, Susanna and the Elders, the drunkenness of Noah, quite unusual stories that were presented by these old master painters hundreds of years ago. And what I find quite interesting is thinking about how they're relevant for society today, how artists are looking at old master pictures and issues that are very prevalent in old master pictures and using them for their own work. Old master pictures are full of really curious, strange and very interesting figures. The drunkenness of Noah tells the story of Noah after the flood. If you didn't know the story of the drunkenness of Noah, as many people don't today, you might wonder who these figures are, what they're doing, why this guy is drunk, lying on the floor. What I thought would be interesting is to combine this with a picture by Maciej Dakovics, a Polish photographer working in the UK. He takes snaps of cities at night, how the figures interact with each other. This particular photograph is taken in 2010 and it shows a Cardiff street scene at night. If you're looking at these two images, both are equally confusing. There are limbs spread all over the place. And I think that this kind of comparison allows us to think about just what old master pictures are saying. Two particular paintings from the Shipley collection focus on the female body, one telling the tale of Bathsheba, the other telling the tale of Susanna, who is bathing. Her divine body causes two elders to desire her, and it eventually leads to their downfall. They are eventually stoned to death. Also, the tale of Bathsheba tells a similar tale of how, while bathing nude, the king David desired her, and consequently it led to his eventual downfall as well. Both are biblical stories, and they're very interesting, very similar in certain ways. They explore voyeurism and the idea of the female divine body being dangerous, desirable, and quite often leading to the downfall of men. I wanted to look at the vulnerability of female form and how a lot of old master painters would focus on the story of Susanna and Bathsheba over and over again. And why did they focus on these stories? And the fact simply is they wanted to show the naked female form, and using a biblical story was just an excuse or a ruse, really, whereas normally they wouldn't be allowed to paint the naked female body. I think that artists today are very much still concerned with voyeurism and the objectification of the female form. Cindy Sherman, an American photographer, focuses on the role of women. She dresses herself up as different women hundreds and hundreds of times. I've chosen these pictures from the Tate Gallery. They're called the Pink Robe series, and they feature Cindy Sherman self-portraits using fabric to shield and control her body. Her gaze is confrontational or challenging, and it meets our eye. We are presented with a very voyeuristic scene, but we're also prompted to think about who's in control of this scene. The way that old master pictures are painted can be very inspiring for artists. We have a loan from the Tate Gallery, John Curran's Honeymoon Nude. This picture was painted in 1998, and yet the way that he's formed the body is very reminiscent of artists such as Botticelli and Lucas Cranach. We have the slightly bulbous stomach, the elongated neck, and these mannerist, disproportionately long fingers. The way that Curran has presented the body of Honeymoon Nude is quite similar to Wtewael. We have a picture in the Shipley collection called The Downfall of Adam and Eve. It shows Eve's body presented with a very long neck, very interesting hands, and the way that her body is shown in full frontal nudity reminds me a little bit of the way that Curran has presented Honeymoon Nude. Another layer to Honeymoon Nude is that it is in fact a self-portrait. John Curran's own face stares out at us from the canvas. Perhaps the reason why he's done this is that our own desires and our own vanities are strongly linked and strongly associated. He wants to see himself as a great old master painter, but he recognises at the same time that this is perhaps a slightly vain and self-absorbed desire. Divine Bodies runs at the Laing Art Gallery until the 29th of September. It's a great opportunity for you to come and see some of our finest old master pictures in the region, also to explore some great contemporary and modern loans, along with some National Gallery loans as well. We have an accompanying programme of talks and events for you to come and enjoy, so I hope to see you soon.